Benefits for families with children and pensioners from May 1. The regions established new payments in early May. They are timed to the Victory Day, but the amounts of payments vary. For example, in the Khanty-Mansi Autonomous Okrug, 20,000 rubles will be paid to certain categories of pensioners. These include, in particular, disabled people and participants of the Great Patriotic War, as well as residents of besieged Leningrad. Home front workers and certain categories of the military will receive 10,000. In other regions, the amount of payments and the list of recipients differs. From May 1, the FU will begin accepting applications for a new payment to low-income families. We are talking about a benefit for children from 8 to 17 years old. It is worth noting that he will be appointed from April 1. Thus, by submitting an application after May 1, the family will receive the amount immediately in 2 months. However, provided that in April the child has already turned 8 years old. An important condition for receiving benefits is the amount of family income. The payment will be assigned if the average per capita income is less than the subsistence minimum per person in the region of residence. The amount of the new payment also depends on the income. It can be 50, 75 or 100% of the subsistence minimum per child in the region. The base payout amount is 50%. The national average is 6,150 rubles. If, taking into account the payment, the family's income will still be less than the subsistence minimum per person, then the allowance will be assigned in the amount of 75% of the regional subsistence minimum per child. If this does not help, then they will assign a maximum benefit of 100% of the regional subsistence minimum for a child, the FU explained. The new manual is an analog of the existing one. Only so far, only single parents can make a payment for children from 8 to 17 years old. In addition, the amount of this benefit is 50% of the regional subsistence minimum per child. Now full families will also be supported. The regions have already begun to establish the procedure for receiving payments for children from needy families. It has changed, for example, in Moscow. So, previously, benefits in the capital did not depend on the amount of income. They were set in a certain size depending on the age of the child. Now there will be a single amount of benefits, and it will depend on the family income. Taking into account the changes, families whose average per capita income does not exceed the subsistence minimum per capita established in Moscow will now be able to receive benefits. This is 18,714 rubles a month. The payment itself will be assigned depending on the level of family income. 50% of the subsistence minimum for a child, 16,174 rubles. The subsistence minimum for a child in Moscow, half, 8,087 rubles per month, 75%, 12,131 rubles, or 100%, 16,174 rubles.